everyone. Today I want to do a quick review of the Weber Smoky Mountain Smoker Grill. This is one I've had for about a year now, and I've been really happy with it. So since it's been used a lot and I've had it that long, I did want to share what my thoughts are on it. This is the 18-inch. The Smoky Mountain comes in 3 different sizes, a smaller version, the 14-inch, this 18 or 22. The 22 is enormous and it's quite a bit of change. So I won't be 18. It's also a good size when you're like me and can't make up your mind. So I can put a couple different, put 2 pork shoulders on here, several racks of ribs. It's got all the room for anything I need. Today, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be putting a 12-pound turkey on here. Assembly took me about an hour. It's not that bad. Basic tools, screwdriver and a pair of pliers, and you can put it together in just an hour or two. The construction is solid, just like any Weber product. I've been very happy with everything about it. So it comes in three different sections. So when you're working with it, you're going to be working with it in these 3 pieces. Obviously, the lid is the top section, and then here's the middle section. And Logan, if you want to come up with the camera here, we can show what's inside here. The middle section includes 3 different pieces. The top grate, where you'll be doing most of your cooking, or at least where I do most of mine. Then there's a lower grate. You can put other items down here as well. And then there's the water bowl. So this is an important part of a smoker in this bullet shape because it does a couple of things. At minimum, it creates an indirect heating thing, so it blocks the heat coming from the bottom so that the heat comes up around it. The other thing is it allows you to put water in here, which helps maintain a more stable temperature and also can provide some area to keep the juices from burning on the bottom and that steaming up if you don't want that. So, it's an important part of it. For the turkey I'm doing today, I'm actually not putting water in there. I'm going to be putting some drip pens in there to collect the drippings. So these just sit right back in there very easily. I'm going to take the middle section off. And you see the bottom section. This is where the fire goes. So there's a fire ring. You use this to put your briquettes in or your coals, whatever you're using to cook with. Then there's a grate to keep it from falling through, and then a tray for the ashes, so it's easy to get the ashes out and take it apart. Now, also in the bottom section are 2 different air vents. If I could change anything about it, I would probably have some way of doing this without burning my hands. They do get hot, so I tend to use either some tongs or some gloves to turn these, but they work fine. This is an important part of your temperature control, so you'll definitely be using those. Put it back together. It actually seals very tight. I don't get any smoke coming out from the different sections. And then there's also another air vent at the top to fine tune it. So I usually start out with this one at about 3/4 open. Start with the bottom to it around half open, and then I fine tune them to get the temperature as it should be. This is the temperature gauge. One thing to keep in mind here, and so far it's been very accurate, but keep in mind it's measuring the temperature at the top of the bullet. So at the level of your first grate, it's going to be slightly cooler, and down at the end it's going to be even cooler again. But what's nice is if you really care about precision in your cooking, come around here, there's a place to put an ambient temperature probe in to capture the temperature midway. So it's just a silicone thing you can keep a probe in there to do your temperature. Just to show you a couple of the accessories that I've had good luck with over the last year. I love the Kingsford briquettes. They've always worked well for me. I do not get the matchlight kind because they include a fuel in there that I don't like to use. It can impart some bad taste to your food. It can also make your coals burn up too fast. So I just use the regular coals. With that in mind, this is something you'll definitely need, and this is a starter chimney. You put your briquettes in here, put some paper underneath, put it on a grill or something where it's safe, and light it, and your coals will start up right here. You don't have to use any kind of lighter fluid. I use some smoking wood. This is a Weber brand. You don't have to use this. You can get anywhere you can get the kind of wood you need. But I usually keep some mesquite and some hickory, maybe some apple wood on hand. I think another important part is some sort of a temperature probe. If you're low tech, like I am most of the time, just your basic electronic probe that you can insert in your food to check doneness. You can also put it into the side of the grill to check the ambient temperature. This is one we're going to be trying today. I've heard a lot of good reviews about it. It's the iGrill, and this is one that will allow you to put a probe in your meat and leave it in there so that you can check your temperature of the meat without having to take the lid off. That's good because, as the saying goes, when you're looking, you're not cooking. If you take the lid off, you lose your heat. It slows down your cooking time. So I'm going to try this so I can leave the lid on and allow it to keep cooking while I'm working. That's it. I do recommend it. I mean, when you look at the price tag of these things, you wonder why it's so expensive for a just some stamped metal, but it is very heavy duty. It's the look of it is deceiving. It's very well made, very thick, and as you can see, it's held up well over time. As far as the things I would change about it, I mentioned I don't love the temperature or the air vents. They do work. So just because I say I don't love it, doesn't mean they don't work. They work well. I think there's just a little room for improvement there. The other one is this door where you can add additional coals. It feels a little flimsy. It's lightweight aluminum, and it just it catches on these little ears when you open it, or you can take it off. But it allows easy access to that. And this is something that's obviously an important part of this. But I think maybe they could have done some sort of a hinge where it would remain in place. Although there's probably a good reason for it to be like this, because it does allow you to completely remove it easily. So not sure what I would change there, but it was just expecting something a little different. But again, it's just like the air vents. It works great, so why am I complaining? So that's it for now. Works great. I highly recommend it. Check the links in the description where you can find a good deal on Amazon. And happy cooking.